Hey everybody, welcome back to another new and noteworthy mod review. Today we're going to take a look at the Case IH Trident 5550 combination applicator. But before that, this video is brought to you by Mark DuPont and Mighty Mouse 05. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Case IH Trident 5550 combination applicator is a mod that can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this mod is available for PC only. Now, I do understand that this mod is intended for console. There was an issue and it got kicked back, but hopefully we will see this get released for console soon because this is one cool piece of kit. Now, what do we get with this mod? Well, what we get is the Case Trident 5550. I'm going to call it the frame. Basically, it is the tractor part of the system, and it is independent of the two rear modules. Then we also get the new liter dry box, and that is going to be for lime and solid fertilizer. And then we have the spray model here, which is going to work with liquid fertilizer and herbicide. And we're going to buy those separate of the self-propelled frame. And we are going to attach them to the frame with the use of this lifter frame and the use of this lifter hook. So let's go ahead and talk about where we're going to find all of this stuff in the shop. And then we're going to go and take a closer look at this particular mod. So in the shop, we're going to go to Vehicles, Crop Protection, and then we're going to have the Trident 5550. Or, of course, you could go to Mods and DLCs and find it all there. But at any rate, with respect to the Trident 5550 self-propelled frame, we have Michelin Agribib 2 4880R50 singles. We can get it with rear duals. We can get rear duals with front hub, or we can get it with duals all around. Then we go to the Yield Bib 489550 singles, or rear duals with front hub, or duals all around. Then we have the choice of Lizard Floater 62 or 620/70R46 big old floater tires, or we go with Row Crop 4880R50s. Guess what? Or dual rear hub in the front, or dual all around. Then we have the choice of Trelleborg TM 100 380/90R54s, or we can go duals all around on the same tire size. Now, as far as front LEDs go, we have two choices. We have 3 LEDs in the center, 1, 2, and 3. Or if we go to LEDs 2, we have the choice of 6 LEDs in the center. For the design, if we look in the cab, right around this general vicinity here, we're going to have the choice of adding a FieldView monitor display. Then under Fenders, we can add Fenders front and rear. And then we have the choice of liquid system display, and that is going to show you right here in this monitor. If we're going to attach the liquid sprayer, we're going to want liquid system display showing there. If we have the dry box, we're going to want the dry box display to show up there. And then we can pick our license plate, and we have ourselves a license plate here on the muffler. And then we do not have a license plate on the rear. That is the self-propelled module. Then we have the liquid system, and it is going to be the sprayer, 40.2 meter working with 21 mile per hour working speed here, people. 5,300 liter capacity. Again, it's going to hold liquid fertilizer or herbicide. The choice of design color with red or stainless steel booms. As configured, $68,280. Then we have the dry box option. And the dry box is going to be choice of silver or red. 18,500 liter capacity. 42 meter working width and 16 mile per hour working speed. $62,250 to buy this. Then we're going to need the quick change tool. This is going to be the lifter frame. Now we can get it with liquid system or dry box configuration. The different configuration options here are simply going to govern how long the chain is on the quick change tool. We can use the dry box to lift the liquid sprayer. We can use the liquid system to lift the dry box, but it will look a little wonky because the chains are a specific length and visually they're designed to look the right length in order to connect to the various mounting points on the liquid and dry box modules. And then finally, we're going to need the Trident tool lifter and a telehandler to pick this all up. Now, if we come back up here to tools, we're going to find the tool lifter and the frame here under miscellaneous. Tool lifter, quick change tool. And then we're going to find the dry box under fertilized spreaders right there. Then I think we already talked about the sprayer being here under the sprayers under tools. So let's take a closer look at these two as they are attached. And I have to say, they are very well detailed. This mod is definitely easy on the eyes as far as taking a look at it. Let's jump in it. Have a little listen. Hear what it sounds like inside. You see we have animated throttle here. Check our lights. So it's not appear that we have any internal lights. As far as exterior lights, we have our first stage lights. We have our rear stage lights, including lights on the spray module. Then we have our third stage lights in the front. We do have flashers. Left and right flashers. Then we have our rear flashers on the frame and the rear flashers on the spray module. We do have brake lights. You got the F1 menu. Left and right mouse button. Left and right will increase and decrease the width of the tires, so when you get out to the field, you can widen it out, that way you have a wider stance. When you're running down the road, you can go more narrow. Right mouse button up and down is going to open and close the cab door. Now, if we go and unfold this, you'll see we do have sectional control. Now, if we also are using precision farming, we will have the see and spray configuration options. So we will be able to possibly configure this with see and spray, again, if we have precision farming enabled. Now, if we left click up and down, we're going to be able to raise and lower the left boom. Okay. Right mouse button up and down opens and closes the door. Left and right mouse button up and down is going to raise the entire boom. So for whatever reason, we do not have the ability at this point in time to raise and lower the right side of the boom, which is kind of interesting, but hey, it is what it is. Now let's go ahead and just fold it on up. We do have beacons. And let's just see how useful are the mirrors. Well, we are at least looking at the side of the tractor here with respect to the mirrors. And inside here you can see the liquid display where we have the tank, we have the sectional modules, and then we have our GPS display right there. Now if we jump out and come over here to our dry box option, and we jump in, we can see our display now is completely different. It is now showing the dry box equivalent there in the screen. Again, we have our flashers, really high quality flashers here. Really like that. We have our brake lights. And then this has a working width of 42 meters. And once again, we do have the ability to do our variable spread width with this particular version also. Now let's see how we actually mount all of these things. So we've got a Manitou telehandler here that we're going to make use of. We have our hook, we have our lifting tool, And then we have two options. We have our liquid, and then we have our solid fertilizer. Now, one thing to also note with respect to picking these things up is you'll see on the lifting tool, there is a side that has a single cross member, and then there is a side that has dual cross members. You're going to want to position the dual cross members on the rear of what we are going to be attaching to. So for the dry box, we want the dual cross members to be back here at the rear where we have the spread discs. And we get our cue to connect. We're going to get cue. And there we have our chains connecting to the dry box so we can lift it up. And then something very, very important to note is, you see those things hanging down there? Okay? We have 4 that are hanging down, right? They need to go in here, there, and there. So we need to match those up with those. And then we'll be able to connect. So what's the easiest way to do that? Well, probably to back the frame up underneath of your dry box. Let's try to minimize the swinging here. Okay, so then we'll jump out, jump in our Trident, and we'll back up. Again, we want, there we go. We can't get much more perfect than that, right? We're going to jump in our Manitou. We're going to pull forward a little bit because we're not quite forward enough. And then we are going to switch to our third tool in the upper left. You want to note that you want to be on the third attachment. We're going to hit disconnect. And now we're going to back out. And we're going to jump in our Trident. And we're going to have Q to connect. And now we have connected the two together. Again, we need to make sure that they are close. When we drop the top module to the frame, we need these to be very close together. That way we can actually connect them. And at this point, we are good to go. Right? Then we're done using it. Well, it's pretty much just the reverse. We're going to come in here. We're going to toggle to the back. We're going to hit Q to disconnect. Then we're going to come in here to our telehandler. Position this up over the dry box. And then when our Q prompt comes up, we're going to connect to it. And we're going to place it on the ground. Disconnect. Disconnect. And then for the liquid, same process applies. You're going to see, like I said earlier, stop this from swinging. But it needs a longer chain because of where its mounting points are, as opposed to the dry box. Now, if you connect to this and you're like me, right now I can't lift this up and down. Take note in the upper left corner again, we need to cycle to the telehandler, and then now we can lift it. Extend the boom again. We want something with a good long reach, right? And once again, we are going to suggest backing the vehicle underneath the attachment, because this one, we've got the boom arms that are wrapping around the cab. So we're going to back in here, just like so. Once again, we want those to line up with these. That to line up with that. Let's lower it down. Then we're going to disconnect. There we go. We're going to connect. And now we are good to go. So I think this is a really, really cool mod, because if you want some big time wide working with spraying and spreading, you can buy one self-propelled frame, $321,000. Then you can buy the liquid sprayer for $68,000, and to buy the dry box for $62,000. And then you've got something that sprays really fast at 21 miles per hour. You have something that spreads really wide and fairly fast at 16 miles per hour. And overall, I have to say, it looks really, really good. Really good details. I like the details on all of these stickers, the hoses, the hose connections, and everything. Let me know what you all think down in the comments below. And as I said, right now this is available for PC only, but hopefully, very, very soon, this will be coming to a console platform near you, so that you can also enjoy the Case IH Trident 5550 combination applicator. And until next time, happy farming.